You're listening to Movie Reviews and More with Brian Sebastian, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hey, this is Brian Sebastian. We are live on Facebook Live today for the first time. I was going to wait till next week, and then Ronan said, let's do it now. So I said, why not? Right, Christy?
Absolutely.
So here we go. I got to thank our sponsors first. I got to go to Stare Cosmetics because Delane was supposed to be here. We were actually going to do a makeover, and her house was almost
I know.
burning.
You were going to make me look pretty.
Well, you are
what
pretty.
Happened?
What happened was her house almost burned down.
I didn't get my makeup done today.
We're gonna rebook, which will be actually really, really good. So I got to thank you, Delane, for calling in. She still wanted to come. I'm like, no, you got to save your family. You got to save the house first.
Oh, wow.
So thank you for that. We'll reschedule for that. The Restroom kit, which you know of, Bill Massey, we have to thank you for that because that's doing well.
Bill.
We're going to actually take some stuff to Puerto Rico with you too, huh?
Yes, for our project, the Lagoon. Yes, Bill has been so grateful and helpful, and we're amazed with all this bathroom kits. They're like helping out people, and we had a lot of perks. Like a lot of people had purchased that one, and yeah, it's definitely going to help the Puerto Rico people.
See, we didn't even get to end our introduction. We just jumped into stuff. Anyhow, I threw Christy Oldham in here because she's a friend from, 5 years ago? It seems like 7 because we've done a lot of stuff together.
Absolutely. It seems forever.
But she's a great filmmaker. She is really, really good. And we met at a black event. She was trying to hang out with her peeps because she's really from Louisiana. But she was trying to hang out with her black peeps, and then we met at a black film festival at the W Hotel, and we became friends.
Well, as they say, once you go black... So no, it was a good time, and I'm grateful to have met you, Brian, and thanks for having me on the show again.
Well, it's fun because she was on one of my first shows, you and Clinton Wallace, when we put you guys together. And who would have known that would have been a great team for you guys?
Oh yeah, he's a fantastic guy. He's my series producer on Vape Wars episode 3. Mm-hmm. Yep, and we've done a couple of things together, and I think he's working with the Hollywood Film Festival now.
Could be
something like that.
Who knows?
He does all kinds.
He does
of
all
stuff.
kinds of things, which is actually pretty good.
Yeah, he's in high demand, so it's hard to track that guy down.
And then let's go to the women first. So, all right, because of all the scandals going on, we're actually talking about things.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna go to Natalie. All right, so when I first ran into Natalie, it was 2015, and she had a movie called Awake, if I remember.
Awaken.
Right? Awaken. And I hadn't seen the film, and then when I did see it, I was like, wow, this is actually a really, really good film.
Was that with Sandra Bullock?
No. This is a film that she had that she really did. She did a lot of fighting and a lot of things. It was a really good film, and then it ended up on Netflix, which was really good.
It seems like I remember seeing that. The Awakening.
Thank you. Yeah. No.
It was one of the rare ones that I saw afterwards because I didn't get a chance to see it before, and I'm like, well, she's really good in this. Yeah, I said really that.
Well.
Really good in this.
I'm so happy.
But it was all the stuff that she did as that strong, powerful woman, which is what you are, and that's what I really liked about that.
Thanks.
And then she brought a straggler along today, so now this is one of her good friends. Tell us who you are.
Her name is Dario Torres.
All right, Dario, what do you do?
I'm a jack of all trades, but really just an actor, writer.
Okay. How did you two meet? I'm curious.
The Actor Studio, actually.
Do you remember, the second time when I was here, I became a member of the Actor Studio. Mm-hmm. He was my scene partner.
Cool.
So now we're both.
Is he on your reel?
No, he's not. No.
Her reel was good. You've seen her reel, obviously.
Ooh,
that reel is good.
Thank you.
Well, I saw that, but I didn't know she could do comedy.
Oh yeah, her comedy is I was flabbergasted when I saw. I was like, wait, you've got good timing.
Really, she is. Did you know Christy was the filmmaker?
No, I didn't.
We just met.
I do. Now I do.
They just walked in.
Hey,
awesome.
Directors have to always meet new talent and vice versa, right?
I like that.
I know. Yes. I'm paying attention.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see your reel.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait to see The Awakening.
I definitely check it out. It's still on Netflix.
Cool.
Yeah, I wrote it, produced it, starred in it, sold it. I mean, know everything about everything. Yes.
You know what's interesting? Now that I'm thinking about it, you guys have a lot in common on the parallels and stuff. Talk about when you go back to Awakening, but actually talk about before that where you came from, because you have a long history too. You started young.
Well, I started as a ballerina. from Ukraine, and then I moved to Moscow, then I moved to Italy, then I grew up in London, graduated from Royal Ballet School, and then danced like with Royal Opera House, choreographed for a lot of big stars, and then came here to become an actress, and eventually got tired of just auditioning, so I became a producer.
Of course, yeah. You have to create your own material.
Yeah.
If you really want to work, and it's so gratifying.
Yeah, and it's definitely it gives you so much more when you make the project. You kind of feel like you've achieved a lot more than just auditioning and getting a part.
And you have the creative control. Yeah. You don't have to wait for someone's permission or someone, because there's a lot of things that go into casting, as you know.
Absolutely.
And you can't take it personal. And so if you want to work, you work. And
now I know everything about it, so I don't. I try to completely now I know the truth. Now I'm like, I get the part, and I'm like, let me tell you what's going to happen with this.
Exactly.
Because I'm a producer now. I'm like, I know the details of it.
So you don't have to take anything personal anymore. And now it's just, okay, well, this person is too tall, or this person is related to so-and-so, so we've got to use this person. Because
the Instagram is higher than mine.
Yeah. What's your feelings on that, Christy?
I tend to go with talent.
That's right. That's how you should go, talent.
Talent
right?
first.
I think so.
Because you guys work. You guys are all actors. I'm not, but I have to watch all these films. You guys work your asses off to do all these projects, and I don't think people are getting a lot of credit these days, and that kind of bothers me. It's not about your social media; it's about your talent.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, what good is it if you got 5 million followers and you can't act? We're already seeing them, and the movies aren't going anywhere.
Well, I think it's just because from an investor's point of view, they don't want to, they want to minimize their risks, and if certain people have the followings already, they know they can sell the movie and more people will go see it.
Well, it's not that they know. I think it's that
hoping.
they are hoping.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of investors, invest in movies still as a business, so they don't want to risk, even though filmmaking is already at risk.
Oh, absolutely. It's highly speculative, and I suggest all investors, take everything that they can and invest somewhere else before they invest in a film.
It should be more like, let's just have
Bitcoin,
fun.
anything you need to,
exactly. Bitcoin
because
is huge
because indie filmmaking is highly speculative, and it's hard to monetize it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that putting a product with it or something and wanting people with a large Instagram or followings and all is a good idea, but sometimes it doesn't equate to profit.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
just
what
because
we need.
Also, I mean, I feel like maybe the audience are not that stupid. They can tell the talented people, from
absolutely.
just
They can tell, and so can reviewers.
And
exactly.
a like doesn't put $1 in the account, in the bank account. So, a like or a follow or a smiley face.
I'm with you. I don't like social media, but unfortunately,
I love it. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, I want to make money.
Exactly.
And I go with talent. I go with the person who has a good attitude, and is grateful, and who has chops.
Talk about that, about doing Barracuda, how it started for you.
Well, I had done a few short films prior to Barracuda, and then a feature film called Cain and Abel. With Flavor Flav. We cast him.
He's coming on the show soon.
He's awesome. and that came out in 2007. And then I found myself without, a job. We had screened at multiple festivals and won a lot of audience awards and best pictures and stuff. And with Cain and Abel, and I needed a job. And so a lady that I had hired as a PA, I asked her, and she said that she was in sales. And I asked her, hey, I need to get a sales job. And she says, well, I didn't want to tell you, Christy, but I'm really a phone sex operator. And I said, perfect. And so she says, yeah, you'd be good at it because, you can do those voices and you get to work from home and you can eat a bowl of cereal and make money and in your slippers. And I said, well, sign me up. So I did it for about 3 months, and I wasn't very good at it.
Really? That's so cool.
And but what happened was I got my next movie out of it, and it was a lot of guys would call in who were normal, professional guys who were also rapists and pedophiles.
Yeah.
And I said, oh boy, this is interesting. And so I started writing it all down, and it revealed so much about men that I didn't know, and their secrets and what they're thinking, and how really a sexual predator nature that they have. Some of these, at least the guys that were calling in, and so after that I obviously quit the phone job, and I put the script together. In about 9 to 10 months, I had the funding for it, and we then it was really quickly. We went through pre-production, got everything going, cast it, and it took me about 5.5, almost 6 years from the idea to distribution to make this thing, and it is the precursor to what's going on right now. Normal professional men who are also sexual predators, and so I knew about this, and all of these women, especially, who are saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe it! I'm so shocked! I can't believe he would do this." I knew that all day long. That's why I would put my hair up underneath my hat, and when I walked outside, I would have on baggy clothes, because I noticed I was treated differently when I had on, my hair was down, and I had on clothes that fit my figure. And I didn't want to have them have a dirty fantasy about me at my expense, because, hey, what am I getting out of it? I don't care if they have a dirty fantasy, but pay me or shake my hand or something. Give me a sandwich, something. What I'm getting, they're getting the fun. And so when women know that they're being used, and then they call a line and then they pretend, are they pretending, or are they really going to and so that's what I made the movie about. And so I'm so grateful.
And it was a very good movie.
Thank you. It ended up, winning 3 Best Picture awards, and it really put me on the map. I wrote it, produced it, co-directed it, and starred in it. And it didn't play at large festivals, but it played it, it won Best Picture, the Burbank International Film Festival, the Flint, Michigan. They liked the car because we had a 1966 Plymouth Barracuda muscle car. And it was just a really hard, long, 5.5, 6 years. But I'm so grateful I did it. And then it came out with Maverick Entertainment, and
which I like them.
Yeah, they distributed our first movie, our first feature, and it's hard to police, with units that are being sold. That's why I'm so happy about distribution now through Amazon Prime, which is what we just did, the web series that I just completed. And my lead actress is from the Ukraine. Her name's Etosha Blazek, and I cast her as this hardcore vixen out off the grid in the desert, killing mofos. It was great. And so you remind me of her.
She is like that,
isn't she?
I am like that.
So when you walked in, I was like, oh wow, she's got moxie.
She's thinking as that filmmaker already.
She's got moxie, so that's good.
Yeah, what's with you Ukrainian women? You guys have this strong presence. I see you all the time now.
Well, I think it's just because
it's in the water, isn't it?
No, we've dealt with men like that all our lives. I think I don't want to put down any Ukrainian or Russian men, but they can be very tough and upfront. So if American men are a little bit more, underground, and you don't know what they're thinking, but you can see something's going on, Russians, tend to just tell you exactly what they think, and it can be very offensive. So we're taught to, kind of put this wall in front of us and protect ourselves from everybody.
That's true.
And just be strong and not let anything affect us. So I think maybe that's why we're here, prepared for any punch, you know what I mean? We'll punch you back.
That's true.
I love that. That's great.
And then you end up writing a book.
Yeah, I wrote a couple of books in between, after Barracuda and before Vape Wars, the web series that just came out. I had 2 little books that I self-published. Clinton H. Wallace actually helped with the publicity and marketing of them, and we did a couple of red carpet.
With tail waggers.
Yeah, that's right.
I like that.
Yeah, so the books are in, it's called Christy Oldham's Manual to Have the Happy and Healthy Dog, because I have a little dog walking business which funds the movies. So helps to fund the movies. And yeah, so I published a little book on how to take care of your dog. And, I love dogs.
It was a good book.
Thanks.
It was an easy read. It was a good book.
Yeah, and it's just a 101 of how, simple things, like fleas and skin allergies and what to feed your dog and things like that for the first-time dog owner. And then the second one was called Finley and the Emerald Volcano. And I self-published that and then adapted it into screenplay. And then I took it to Cannes. and was hoping to, get a meeting with, or something going with that. It hasn't happened yet, but it's still, in development. So in the meantime, we did Vapors with Paradox Studio. So my DP, Brian Hanisch, and my editor, Kurt LaFerny, they're amazing. And that's who I work with on Barracuda. And so I wanted that gritty, off-the-grid Mojave Desert feel, and post-apocalyptic. And so that worked out fine. We put that in the can in August. And now it's streaming in 4 countries on Amazon, in Japan, Germany, the UK, and here in the USA. And we just screened at our premiere festival at the Mediterranean Film Festival in Cannes, and we got an honorable mention for Best Web Series. So I wrote and produced and directed that, and that stars Etosha Blazek from the Ukraine. She just started with Jamie Foxx, and so that's coming out soon. She's about to be a big star. I'm very proud of her. And a non-actress that I discovered at a party in a crowded room. She was just amazing. She looked like Blondie with tattoos. And I said, "Oh my God, who is that?" And the crowd just parted. I just had to meet her, and her name was Lulu Danger. And so I cast her as the other lead. That was interesting, working with a non-actress. She didn't have to do anything. Because she just looked so amazing. And then of course David Lockhart, who is also a filmmaker. Scott Schwartz from A Christmas Story, and The Toy. I grew up watching him on television, and I was, so honored to be able to direct him.
That's funny.
And then we got guest appearances by Ron Jeremy, and he was a hoot on set. And then of course,
Ronnie tried to grab you?
He did not. He was actually very, very sweet and professional.
Good.
He there was a piano on set, and he actually played the piano with his penis without even pulling his penis out. That's how professional he is.
Interesting.
Wow.
He is.
Okay.
Man of many talents.
People don't know that Ronnie was actually a teacher. He's actually, I'm not going to get him in trouble. He's very bright and very gracious.
He is.
I've known him for many, 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 many years.
He's very charismatic.
Yeah.
Intelligent.
Yeah.
And, he just happened to be in the porn industry.
Yeah, my old co-host named him, gave him the name Hedgehog.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's because you guys don't know how he got his nickname, probably. It was snowing one day. They were doing an adult scene. I know these things. I was there. He was doing a scene up in Big Bear, and it was snowing. And he came out all furry. He looked like a hedgehog.
Oh,
That's how he got his name.
Oh, I thought it was because of other reasons.
Nope. That's how he got his name. It was interesting.
Very
Thank
interesting.
God, I have no idea what you're talking about.
We'll show you later.
Yeah, that's a different story.
It is. I'm curious about you.
Oh.
Because I think I've recognized your face from someplace, obviously, but tell us what your story is.
My story.
And I want you to speak in the mic. I want everybody to hear
But of course, good sir. Into the mic I shall. So yeah, if you're saying you're curious because you recognize me, I've been in a few shows, but really quick scenes. I've been on Fresh Off the Boat, ABC. I've been on recently Amazon Prime, Bosch. What was the other one? It was another one. Tattoo Nightmares. That was fun. And one of my favorite ones, even though it's kind of campy, 1,000 Ways to Die. And I was one of the people who died. Yeah, I died. And it was funny. The director had told me at the time when we were shooting it, he said, "You're the only person on this entire season this year that is dying of like natural causes or like something normal. Everyone else is dying crazy, in all kind of weird ways. And all I died was of bird flu. I was on a plane. I was smuggling birds from Colombia.
Oh, I saw that.
to America.
I saw that because that was actually really good.
Yeah, I was
weird ways that
vomiting
people
all
died.
kind of stuff on people on the plane. But it was just, half and half and honey. But
I was going to say, what kind of...
crew was amazing making this. Like, look, I'm going to make this stuff look like nasty phlegm. And he's like, it's just honey. Honey and a little bit of half and half. Okay. And then he's like...
That and maybe a little bit of oatmeal.
Yeah. Something just to make it look just... But it was great. I got to vomit all over extras and stuff and, really like...
Good
That's
times.
funny.
I did it, Mom. I did it. But yeah, quick backstory about me. Graduated from the actor studio grad school at Pace University in New York. Came out here in 2010. Been here ever since. Love LA.
You're a New Yorker, real New Yorker?
Born and raised, man.
How long did it take you to like LA? Because New Yorkers hate it for at least 10 years.
No. I feel like New Yorkers are either black or white with it. There's no gray area with us. We either love LA or we hate this place.
Yeah.
I'm one of the love types. So when I came here, it didn't take long, man. I fell in love with LA quick. And I usually...
Why?
Well, here's the thing, what I say about LA. LA is like a good bottle of red wine. You open it, and it's not going to taste the same until you allow it to breathe. And it's one of those places where... in the beginning, the first couple of years, you're going to kind of get this honeymoon phase or this phase of like, you're going to all the spots that everyone goes to. But after a while, you really have to start searching and excavating areas. And then you start to realize the beautiful art scene that LA is from in all aspects, from, writing, movies, dancing, actual painting. It's just, it's such an amazing culture of just an epicenter of different walks of life in every avenue. It's just like New York. It's just everything is spread out. You actually gotta go find people.
Yeah. Well, and that's why there's social media and LA Talk Radio and
Correct. Beautiful segue.
So how did you two meet?
Yeah, so it was the studio, the actor studio. I was helping her with a scene.
Was she trying to do comedy then?
No. She was.
No, for actor studio, you have to do very dramatic.
Yeah.
You got to pick something that shows like a lot of arcs in a very small period of time, and really, really make the judges love you.
Wow.
Yeah, it has to speak to the heart of the piece that you pick.
We did The Girl in the Via Flaminia.
Interesting.
It's a really cool play. He played a soldier. I played an Italian girl.
World War II.
Yeah. And that was it. So that's kind of like we started working since then. And then he's originally from Puerto Rico. So we traveled to Puerto Rico right before a hurricane. Met some of his family.
Before, after the happened,
yeah,
right?
It was like literally like a couple of days before. And we met his family. It was great. But then the Hurricane Maria hit. And a lot of, his aunt's houses are destroyed. It's just such a shame. And I can't believe that I was just there. And the scenery is so beautiful. The place is amazing. The island is just magnificent. And now it's just like some of it is really, really devastated.
So he was who you were talking about, the family, right?
Yeah, his
when
family.
She was talking about you when she was last on. So it left a lasting impression because I'm still talking about it to a couple of people since she was on talking about that. So it's an honor to have you here.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Because now we can put a name to the face, obviously.
And now we definitely started the campaign on Indiegogo for our film that we kind of both decided to put together and put everything in one kind of feature film. So we have like the Puerto Rico thing that we're trying to help and shoot in Puerto Rico, and it's also about cancer. This our
Is that
lead
the Black
actress.
Lagoon?
It's called the Lagoon.
The Lagoon, yes.
Yeah, it's on Indiegogo as the Lagoon.
The Lagoon. It's basically a story that was inspired by a trip me and this one took down a very dark waterway in the lagoon of Fajardo, Puerto Rico. And it's basically the bioluminescent bays. There's only 3 in the... No, I'm sorry. It's
6 in the world,
6
and
in the
3
world.
of them are in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, 3 of them in Puerto Rico themselves. So we just happened to stumble upon this this trip. We did it, and it was just... There's no words to truly explain the awe of what is to be truly engulfed in Mother Nature's creation. I mean, when she wants to show off, man, you got to kind of step back and be like, wow, Mom Nature, I bow down, because that was amazing.
It was beautiful. If you guys never did it, you have to go do it. Bioluminescent Bay, it's amazing. So you take like a small canoe on this lagoon at night.
On a kayak, yeah.
On a kayak, yes. And it's like you put your hand through the water, and it's like diamonds rushing through your fingertips. It's the most beautiful experience ever.
It's kind of healing, isn't it?
It's healing. They say it's healing, yes. That's why there's only 6 of them left in the world, because people are taking advantage of it. It's like one of those, microorganisms. They're dying if you touch it too much, because our body, our microbes are like killing whatever is in the water.
That's why, on the kayak, also it was see-through fiberglass.
Yeah.
So as we were going in the night, it has to be pitch black. We would literally look like we were floating in space. Because
you get confused.
Like
you get confused which one is this, where the sky is.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
So beautiful.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that you're just shell shocked that you're even in this moment when it's happening.
And that's how we got inspired to write our story, because our basically lead actress, she gets diagnosed with cancer, stage 4 lung cancer, and instead of going to natural, medicine, we thought, hey, what if there is such cure in the world, like in the lagoon, like one of those microorganisms you could use, like, and actually extract them and turn it into a cure. And that's our idea, that our lead actress, instead of doing all the kind of chemotherapy and stuff, she goes to search for natural
healing.
Yes. And we actually read in Daily Mail that fireflies can cure cancer. So we took...
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
So we took... Yeah, so we... Well, I mean...
We've been researching like crazy.
Yeah, I've been researching. It's basically like really based on true facts.
Is this also a documentary?
No, it's a feature film. It's pure
Narrative.
feature film.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's a narrative.
definitely
Yeah, and she basically goes there and she finds this broken hospital after the hurricane, and there's a lot more, of course. There's this doctor who had found cure, but the government tried to stop him because it wasn't. It's not supposed to go that way. The pharmaceutical companies will actually go out of.
Okay, so you're bringing the government into it because there's got to be a conflict.
We're not really paying attention to that too much, but you can see, under the whole situation that something is going on.
That they want to keep this from the people.
Of course,
basically.
Because I'm sure there's a lot more. I'm sure nowadays there's a lot more cures that have been developed, but they haven't been approved yet.
Yeah. No, I mean in your film, in your
my
story.
film, yes.
That's
the struggle. Yes, we can't. So, but she still goes there and she says, "Look, I need to find this. How do I do it?" The doctor says, "You can't. I can't help you. You got to do it. You got to go to the path of this forest. You got to find this lagoon. And if Mother Nature allows you to take this fungi from the Balumesan Bay, then you bring it to me, and I will help you."
Oh, it's like the Wizard of Oz. Bring me the broom of the Wicked Witch, and then you can get your wishes.
Yeah, not everybody can extract this fungi because there's such thing as, like, you also have to be a pure soul, and you have to believe in it, and she doesn't believe in it at first, but then
hence the character arc. Okay.
Yeah.
So did she live?
Well, I was. You got to see the film.
We have to make the film first.
I know, right?
We have to raise the money on Indiegogo.
Well, tell them how can they donate.
Yes, go ahead. I mean, you definitely can go to Indiegogo. I think the hyperlink was like https://igg.me/the Lagoon. A lot easier if you just go to Indiegogo and search The Lagoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you should it should be coming up with kind of like a really cool picture of this woman standing alone in the forest, and behind her, hanging from the trees, very subtle, are nooses.
Well, that one sheet of that looks interesting.
Yeah, and it just says
I love how it looks.
Yeah, it just has a foreboding look, but at the same time, it's one of those stories we're trying to create that blends genres of both adventure, thriller, a little bit of horror elements, and then also kind of like an eerie tale. And I was going to say, piggybacking on that whole factor of the healing about this lagoon and the eeriness of this place, that was one of the reasons why we were inspired to create this story. Our tour guide told us a true story about basically Christopher Columbus when he came to the Indies. He basically, when the Spanish arrived to Puerto Rico and also parts of Dominican Republic and even Haiti and that whole Caribbean area, they found some of these natural places, these bioluminescent bays, and they considered them blasphemous. They considered them like, almost against their religion, because the Taino Indians that were there were using them to basically heal their tribesmen, or to bring very sacred older Indians there for healing, even pregnant women. So then what would happen is that the conquistadors saw this. There used to be about 7 bays in Puerto Rico, and the Spanish conquistadors filled them up with sand and dirt because they thought that this was against their religion, so this can't be held, and they forbade anyone to go over there. So, and then it was labeled, they literally called it the Devil's Lagoon.
And that's how we got to the...
Yeah.
And it was like almost like a fable, that was...
So the stigma that was attached to it actually kept people away, which is what they wanted. Because they knew exactly what they had.
Exactly.
Kind of like how women are oppressed because they know how powerful the woman is. So let's keep them down. Let's keep them away. Anything that's good, anything that we don't want anyone to know about, let's,
because they fear change.
And it's just like the blacks, the story of the black swan. The same thing. It's like the ugly duckling. Well, it's because she was really a swan.
Exactly, the whole time.
It's
no
always
one ever
like
told
that.
her that.
It's always haters like that.
Haters. So I found the link. Sorry.
That's what I was waiting for.
I know, right? Natalie, thank you so much. So the link is as follows: https://igg.me/@/the Lagoon, all one word, no spaces.
You're going to say that one more time again.
Yes, of course. One more time.
We got to make sure that people donate, so.
No, thank you. So https://igg.me/@ and it's not the symbol at, it's actually @/the Lagoon.
Or you can go to our Facebook.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, there's also the Facebook. And the Facebook, again, The Lagoon Movie, I think, right?
The Lagoon Movie.
How can people reach you?
You can reach me.
Do you have a website, Instagram or anything?
I do have a Instagram, but
and this is why I ask people. This is why I ask. Go ahead.
Instagram is dnizzles, DNIZZLES. Dnizzles for shizzles, but just dnizzles. Or you can even email me, really simple, dario.torres79@gmail.com.
Natalie?
Right, let me fix the Lagoon thing on Facebook. It's the Lagoon Movie.
It is Lagoon Movie.
We came so unprepared.
Thank God for phone.
It's like Lagoon Movie, and that's it. Very
Who do you
simple.
have attached so far?
So far, it's just me. I'm playing the lead, and then we have the director. His name is Jose Casella, yes, and he wrote the story based on our idea and based on our treatment that we came up with. He wrote the screenplay, and he's also going to be directing. He's an amazing DP. He's done tons of music videos, worked with Shakira, did a lot of commercials. So he's very famous in that artsy world, and that's what we were looking for. We wanted something very beautifully shot. You gotta make sure that you use all the beautiful scenery that we're gonna be, coming against. So he's attached, and then we're gonna get a couple of names. On Indiegogo, we did mention that I'm gonna approach a couple of my friends. So we're thinking of Luis Guzman and then a couple of other people that I know personally. So
Cool.
Definitely gotta put it together. Yeah. No, I think it's a definitely a story worth telling, and nothing like this has ever been told before or done. So I feel like it's gonna be cool. So my Instagram is Natalie-Burn. My Twitter is NatalieBurn01. Facebook, Natalie Burn Official.
Come on, you got great numbers, so we have to get your numbers up, right?
And my number is 729-6579-9135.
I was joking.
Wait, you just gave your phone number?
Did I now?
That's funny.
Whoever got it fast. Lucky you.
Christy, how do people reach out to you?
Well, you gave out your number a lot faster than you, right? The time that you worked for 3 months, how did people reach you?
Oh, that was through a phone sex line. So they would call. They would be in the back of a magazine, and it would be like this anonymous picture of God knows what, and the guy would be, oh wow, that is alluring. Let me call that number.
Right.
I hope I don't want to know what the picture looked like. And then there would be 20 girls, and then depending on what he wanted, what he clicked, right. If I'm a pedophile, if he says, 10-year-old little girl, which is awful, or sometimes they wanted the girl next door, or they wanted hot black woman with large breast. So you had to, as a voiceover actress, you had to pretend to be, how do you...
So this is natural for you now, to do this.
What, to do what?
To do
she can do that.
Thing.
I told you I wasn't very good at it. I only did it for 3 months.
You got fired.
She got better at it.
No. I quit because the voices were coming through, when I wasn't listening, it would come through the headset, and I wasn't wearing a headset, and so... it started to haunt me.
You should make a movie about that.
I did already.
That's what it's called? I need to see it.
No, it's called Barracuda, and it won 3 Best Picture awards. We talked about this.
No, I know, but I didn't know it was actually based on your situation. I thought maybe it was something. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's how I got the idea, through
That's
adversity.
amazing.
So
to
that's
see
why I
It is.
started.
It's very good though.
Thank you. So yeah, I
'Cause
started,
I would tell you.
Is it a psychological thriller?
it's a vigilante thriller.
Very cool.
Yeah. So anyway,
How do people find you?
oh, how do people find me? Gosh, the only person I want to find me is a CAA agent.
Okay. How would that CAA?
They can go to
agent find you?
IMDb Pro.
All right, there you go.
Boom.
She's always protective about this stuff. That's why she makes me laugh.
That's it. That's the
Yeah.
only. That's that or let's see, who else? William Morris or Paradigm. That's who I want contacting me.
Yeah, that's good. It's called goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or NBC or ABC who want me to direct television.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Natalie, I like your necklace. It's
Oh,
fashionable.
thanks.
I like
Yeah.
it. Where'd you get it?
I got it in London.
It's pretty.
Thank you. There's animals. Oh yeah.
See, she's styling without knowing that she's styling.
Yeah, and I didn't even know I had it on.
That's funny. Hey, we noticed it,
God.
didn't we?
This is very true. I
Yeah.
just noticed her boots in the elevator. One of the people in the elevator looked, it's like, oh, nice boots. And I was like, you know what? Those are nice boots. I didn't even notice. I'm sorry.
Well,
That's okay.
you're not looking at her shoes. She's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
You already picked that,
And that's why she's got many fans around the world, right?
Correct them
hope so.
undo.
Yeah. We had a
I'm
slow
gonna
box
check out.
office.
I'm gonna check out your movie. You have to
Please
check out
do
mine. Awaken.
I will.
Yes.
Yeah,
there you
she's,
go.
she's actually was your character in your film.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Almost
I
the
saw
same.
that in her walk. I told you all that. In 3 steps. I got you.
Yeah, I kick ass.
That's funny. Well,
we're
she
going.
does. Yeah.
We're going to a gymnastics class now. We're still training.
Really.
Yeah, we're tumbling now,
Backflips
doing
and all.
backflips
What
and
aren't
everything.
you doing?
I got into gymnastics now. I don't
That's
know.
awesome. I love
yeah,
that.
we did for the movie I was trained with Benny the Jet, who played my dad
Oh, yeah,
in the
yeah.
movie, and I did like kickboxing, jiu-jitsu with Sean Patrick Flannery, who's
Yeah.
awesome. And now we're more into gymnastics and stuff. But I also dance, and I have a new project coming out with Dwayne Adler, who wrote it. He wrote the original Step Up and Save the Last Dance. So he just wrote a script for me. It's a dance movie with ballet and salsa, kind of like Dirty Dancing / Black Swan. So I'm looking forward to making that. I just got back from Italy. Did you know that? I shot a
did
movie
know
there
that.
with John Real. It's called Obsessed.
I kind of follow you now.
Yes, and my movie with Lionsgate is coming out in March. It's called The
Wow.
Executioners. Georgia Serafini directed it.
Wait a minute.
Bravo.
Weren't you just at something else too? Didn't you just have like 1 or 2 other films? Seems like came out also. Or were you at
Oh
the
yeah, it's
premieres?
the Second Coming of Christ.
Yeah,
Yes,
see? Oh,
Sony
yeah.
picked it up.
Wow.
Sony picked
Oh,
it
yeah.
up.
It's hard to
out.
keep up, when you're working.
Sony picked it up. It's coming out as well in March, I believe, on Netflix. They're
Good
doing
for
like
you.
the limited
That is
theatrical
amazing.
first, and then it's out on
Good.
DVD and VOD.
So we should go see it, obviously.
Yeah.
Hey, I have to ask because there's a lot of bad movies out there, so I'm asking.
I mean, if you're into Christ movies, yes. If you're not,
Well, you're in it, so I have to go see it.
Yeah.
okay, then you go see it.
Well, this goes back to film festivals, picking the right films. You tell people to go see this film.
I just remember the first time we met, you never saw my movie, and you were trying to interview me and had no idea what he was talking about.
Actually, I did because I was right when I saw it. But the whole thing was
You're
that
just
people
so
don't
good
realize-
at interviewing. You just know what to say without even watching the movie.
I do.
That's good.
There are those
Good job.
times when you can't see you can see 7 films in a day, but you can't see it
That's true.
24/7. Because I believe me, I've tried.
That's true.
But it's one of those things. Sometimes, hey, if you're gonna interview Mel Gibson, who you work with, and you didn't see the film, are you gonna say, no, I'm sorry, I didn't see the film, I can't interview Mel, right?
Right.
Hell no, you're gonna go and interview Mel because he's one of the best interviews out there, and
That's
see the
true.
film afterwards, and then you're gonna regret that you wish you saw the film.
Exactly.
Sometimes they just have. You've come to screenings with me. You're running from screening to screening. This is on my side of the world. You come from screening to screening. You might have 4 screenings in a day. One starts at 9 or 10 in the morning, and then you got one that ends at 7 or 7:30 at night. That's a long day running
very
across
true.
town, and then keeping the momentum up, because if it's your film and someone's got to write about your film and they're tired, they're not going to like your film, no matter how good it is, because they're tired, and that's not good.
That's so true. And you go to a lot of events and screenings and parties.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, we were thinking of doing an event for the Lagoon for
You
our
should.
campaign. So
You
we
should.
want to pair up with somebody who's doing something already in January. And we actually had somebody contacted us from ALA, American Lung Association. They want to like work with us on this film and help us, get the rest of the money that we need. And so if you guys are doing some kind of events, let us know. We're ready to pair up and do something. Yes.
Well, yes. Actually, do you have a date you're thinking about, or
January, February? Obviously not now. People are leaving on the 15th. I don't even know why you guys are still here. Nobody's here anymore. Why are you working?
I work down to the hours of things because I
know. I don't ever stop working.
No, we don't. My cutoff was yesterday. I'm way ahead of everybody. I'm booked until the end of February, going right into the Oscar week.
Nice.
But what happens is we had the fires. So I actually had 7 people on today, and then for various reasons, I had you always come in. Christy was last minute. I had her actually on the day after Christmas coming. And even that show, I got 7 people on the day after Christmas.
I know you're so booked. You told me like you have only like several.
Yeah, people don't understand.
windows.
I mean, they're coming from different countries and in different states, and it's an honor. There is a waiting list. Last week we flew with our name Aberdeen, the Watchers, and the reason I got to know this person, Holly Davidson, who I like, was through Christy writing an article because she's actually a good writer too. I can't write to save my life, but she's an excellent writer, and it was the article that I saw that she wrote that I ended up hooking up with my publicist now, Holly Davidson.
Nice.
So again, that was the circle. So we went flying in a plane last week, but you would like this. She has watches that are made for women. She's got 20 different types. I'm actually going to wear one. She's making one specially for me with the band.
I like
But they're aviation watches. They're watches for diving. They're going, I think it's like, I don't know how many feet. It goes really, really deep. And the bands, and they expand. And then for fitness. So I'm going to get them into the world of fitness on the women's side of things, because they're made for women.
That could be good for our perks in our campaign. We have a watch by Marco Mavillo. He's Italian, and it's really cool. It's like a toy watch.
Interesting.
But it's, a lot of people have bought that perk, as well as the bathroom kit. The restroom kit. Not bathroom kit, restroom kit.
Well.
Toilet kit.
Yeah, exactly. Well.
Let's make it simple.
When she was last on, and when she was talking about you, now that I know who you are, and the family in Puerto Rico, and the film and how important that was, I wanted to have her come back, and I had to squeeze people out because it's important of what was going on in Puerto Rico, obviously. And I liked her passion. And then we talked about it, the restroom kit. I think, Chris, you saw one from Bill Macy when I saw him at Celebrity Connected. And I liked the product, and the product is great. And the thing is, Puerto Rico needs it. Houston needs it. Florida needs it. So
Well, LA needs it because of the outbreak of hepatitis A.
That too. But you know who really likes those? It's women. Women really like that.
All day long. This is great.
It's really convenient.
How's your family in Puerto Rico?
I mean, thank God. I mean, no one has really, had anything terminally happen. Most of all my family is safe. I have both of my parts of my family living in different parts. I have some in the city and some in the rural areas. And the ones in the city obviously fared a little bit better than the rural areas because they were like in apartment tenements. They didn't have to worry about like roofs blowing off. Obviously, the ones that are kind of like more in the rural areas evacuated, maybe stayed with family members that were in safer structures. But for the most part, they're doing all right. I remember when it first happened, the biggest thing was getting gas,
supplies, and everything to them.
Wi-Fi.
Oh,
For some reason, those were the two major things. I mean, water obviously was paramount as well, but it was really just gas and Wi-Fi.
Have you been back yet?
No, I haven't been back to PR since, but I've been in close contact with my mom and my dad, who are always like have lines of communication.
Oh, good.
Just always going back and forth from my aunts on the island.
Wow.
And, again, everyone is good and safe. I know some of my cousins had to flee to Miami because some of their businesses they couldn't run because there's no power. One of my cousins is a tattoo artist. He owns his own tattoo shop. Can't run it. I mean, he has clients, but, how are you going to run it if you don't really have power to run the machines? Clients don't really have money to pay for their tattoos. So he had to go back to this old shop he worked at in South Beach just to make ends meet because he has a kid and a wife he's working with. So
I like to hear from people who actually have family there and that can testify to what's really going on.
She came from Louisiana.
He showed me a picture of your aunt's house.
Yeah.
I was horrified. Like it was just destroyed. Crazy.
you can't even live in, you know, I mean, the mold, and after, you know, a hurricane, after all these things, because we went through it with Hurricane Andrew, and I remember, you know, that was just crazy. And then 2006 was Katrina, and I was already here in Los Angeles, but yeah, it was, you know, everyone came together. They call them the Cajun Navy, and everyone has a boat, and everyone's helping each other. Yeah. And that's really what you have to do, is you have to help yourself. You can't really wait for anyone else, and that's, you know, what independent, you know, filmmaking and everything that, you know, if you really want to work, if you really want to do better, if you really want to overcome, you really do find the inner fortitude, and you just pull yourself up and you just do it, and there's no excuses.
Exactly.
And you just find a way.
Yeah.
So I pray for you and your family. That's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Glad that, you know, that they're doing well.
I know. I mean, again, it was a blessing. It was definitely a blessing. And I thought that, I mean, I still think that, like, exposure is the number one thing that helps us. Like, the more we have people on the ground showing footage of what's really happening, the more awareness is brought up. And I think that is paramount. When you have communication and awareness, people then have the ability to act.
So are you guys making a documentary about that as well, in Puerto Rico?
I mean, I think we might try to do maybe like a behind-the-scenes kind of feature when we're making the film. Because when we first had the idea of engendering the film, it was about bringing that awareness of maybe getting people back into tourism. Because tourism and agriculture are the two main exports of Puerto Rico. Those are the two things that keep the Puerto Rican economy going. So one thing that we wanted to do with this film was to get people back excited about what the island can offer with this enchanting story, and with this amazing story of this woman's heroicness and her heroism, and what it's like when she finds the things that she needs on this beautiful island. So that was one of our main kind of driving forces to create this film. And then obviously we definitely want to do a behind the scenes feature, because we feel like that will be something that we can almost kind of create on its own. Maybe have some sort of, you know, little feature where people can see what it was like for us to have to go through the things that we're going to go through to make this film.
Well, you don't know what you're going to have to go through, but you can project, you know, what the conditions might be like. But it's always, you know, different than what we think it might be, right?
Always
it's always
different than what you expect.
So that's why the Buddha says no expectations, because it leads to suffering.
Exactly.
So you just go with it. So.
And that's true. And also, while we're here, I want to thank our sponsors, Provincial Vodka. Obviously, I had some earlier today.
I know, it's 7 times distilled. 7 times distilled.
It was fabulous.
It is actually
very
good.
tasty
you guys can
and
taste
delicious.
them afterwards.
Thank you.
But it's very, very good. And Linda Steele from Chicago, Steele Fitness and Training, actually, she came on. What's interesting, everybody sometimes when they come on, not sometimes, everybody when they come on, they become a sponsor. And thank you for doing that, which is really good. Aberdeen, who had her watches, she's actually a female pilot. So she's commissioned to fly 86 different types of planes, including an Airbus. Wow. And she's the one who created those watches for women. So after she came on, I got her as a sponsor. Women's watches. That's so cool. It's about you guys, gender empowerment, obviously.
Yeah, I met her at the Doris Bergman's gifting suite.
Yes, you were there.
Yeah.
That was the other connection and things, though.
Yeah.
The gifting suite.
Yep. There's benefits to it. We got Ferdinand coming out this week, and obviously Star Wars: The Last Jedi. You a Star Wars fan?
Big fan.
Yeah.
Trust, I've been there since, you know, my favorite, I don't know why, but my favorite has always been Return of the Jedi. But, you know, I feel like that and Empire Strikes Back were always like the two fighting for me to be like which one is the best. I didn't remember really seeing New Hope in the theaters. I think New Hope I saw, you know, once it was on VCR. I don't know if people out there know what a VCR is.
Hey, I worked in a video store, so.
You know.
Yay.
But yes, I am very excited for this film. I cannot wait. You know, I will be there with gleeful smiles on.
I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I have to say it was good.
I see. There you go. We're getting. You're joining the side. Yes.
Yeah. See, for me, it's about the score, and that Darth Vader's voice, which made me want to do voiceovers. James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Exactly. And he had a stutter. I remember that. And he eradicated that. Became one of the most prolific voices ever.
Yep.
More than just scream, but just
Yep.
to hear that man on Broadway. Also. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Since we're on you have a favorite film? What got you into wanting to be an actor? There was something that created that.
Well, it was theater, really.
Really?
I got bit by the theater bug, and it was one of those things where, like, I knew right after that, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. It was a play based on the Harlem Renaissance.
Oh,
We did
yeah,
it in
yeah.
the Bronx. It was called You Can't Take It With You.
Yep.
And we did just a diverse cast. And I remember just that feeling of walking on stage and that rush. There was nothing like it, and I just knew. I was like, I don't know what this acting thing is, but oh man, I am a fan. So then after that, I just wanted to study. So I went to undergrad and grad school, and it's been the journey I will never change. So, but if you're asking my favorite film,
And I am.
I'll give you my top 3 because it's hard
That's
to pick
good.
one.
You can do that.
All right, Pulp Fiction is 1, Braveheart is
Ooh.
2, and Dracula. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Is
Really?
3, with Gary Oldman, yeah. Those 3.
Because it was Gary Oldman.
Oh,
Gary
that
Oldman's
man was
amazing.
just, I will never forget. It was the first time ever I saw a Dracula movie, and I wanted Dracula to win.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to die. And I thought, like, whenever you do
that's
something like
interesting.
that to me, it's a special film.
Christy?
I have a few as well.
Go ahead.
The one movie that I just love it's campy as hell, but I just love it, and I could watch it over and over again, is the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Interesting.
Tim Curry.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that sort of stuff. I love The Wizard of Oz. And I like old Betty Davis movies, All About Eve. That's one of my favorites.
Because she was a strong woman.
Yes, and it's going to be a bumpy ride. So, those are my top 3.
Natalie?
My top 3 are very diverse. Gone with the Wind.
Oh, excellent
yeah,
film.
that's still the most top-grossing movie of all time.
Yeah.
I love it.
Even above Avatar.
That's
and all
why
that.
I became an actress
Ah.
because of Vivian Lee.
Tomorrow's always another day.
Exactly. Yes, I'm not gonna think about any problems today. It's gonna be tomorrow. And then Old Boy, which I actually showed Dario
Yeah, that
recently.
changed.
The original
Wow.
one,
The
the
original one, yep,
Japanese
the two
version.
versions, yep.
It's amazing.
Wow.
I love it. And then my third is King Kong with Jessica Lange.
Ah,
I love
interesting,
King
yeah.
Kong. I
Yeah.
just I like animals, and every time somebody dies, I always get affected by it.
Well,
so-
we are animal lovers.
Yes.
Yes,
we're all
I have a
animal
dog,
lovers.
and
You
yeah,
do?
yeah.
Okay.
But those are like a long-haired Chihuahua.
Aww.
Yeah, and she's probably the only dog in LA that walks without any leash everywhere. I mean, we fly and she runs
I've
the
been witness to it.
airport
I've seen it.
without the leash everywhere.
That's
She, like,
funny.
She's like she knows everything. Like I talk to her like she's my I don't know maybe my great grandmother or something.
She does know.
She just knows everything. Yeah, and everybody's always looking at me like, how did you train her to do that? I'm like, I don't know. I just tell her you can go anywhere you want, and she always stays next to me. It's kind of
That's
like how I
awesome.
train my dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
Well, she trusts you.
She absolutely,
And
yeah, she
when
doesn't
there's
want to go
trust,
anywhere.
Yeah, that she's like, when the human
Mhm.
is in control and is emotionally stable,
Yeah.
there's no reason to, go anywhere else. You supply everything. So I'm sticking with this one.
Yeah,
That's
no,
true.
exactly.
Right.
No,
That's
even
true.
at the airport, like we go somewhere and I need to go get a coffee or something, I put her with my suitcase, my bags. Like she
like-
just open,
Yeah.
in the airport sitting. I'm like, you sit here, you just save the spot for us, and she'll be like, okay, I'm going.
That's
like
funny, yep.
taking the lane, like staying in line, waiting for people to pass by, and I see her, she's just looking at me like, are you coming back? Literally, people are staring at her like, what is this dog doing? Like she
Yeah.
takes elevators by herself.
Wow.
That's how my dog
That's
is.
funny.
Like. Yeah, she just knows.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I got to meet this dog.
Yeah, you have to meet her. She's just like, well, because
She
her,
needs to start
both
her own movie.
Both of her parents were like champions, and I never like
Oh.
took her to training. But I think it's in her blood,
Ah,
I
yeah,
guess,
yeah,
to
yeah.
be
Yeah.
like she's just perfect. It's
Yeah.
insane. She's more perfect than I am.
That's funny.
Wow.
We were talking about scandals. You joked one time Harvey Weinstein never slept with you. That was funny.
You talking about me?
Uh-huh.
Same here.
Right.
Ta-da!
Yeah, see?
So I met him briefly. Didn't
In
have
Cannes.
No, not in Cannes.
I met him in Cannes.
And I met him at the Italian Film Festival, actually.
And that's a good photo you have of him, too.
He was super nice, but I had already completed a completed feature about sexual predators, and I pitched him real quick, and he had no interest. Pause. Wonder why. So I've never really had an issue with any of that stuff. I've always.
That's because you're a tough chick. You're not going to put up with that.
Well, I mean, I've had, obviously people,
Oh yeah, they all hit on you.
whatever. But I'm not offended. I'm just like, well, I mean, how else are we going to procreate? I mean, someone's got to make the first move, right? There is a fine line, and there's obviously you have to, be respectful of others and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think if they're being respectful of asking you out, that's normal to me. I always give guys a
sure.
So how does a guy ask you out?
Well, I mean, he has to be bold and ask. Well, so I'm okay with that. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm not offended. I'm not. And so for women who say, "Oh,"
but when they blackmail you, that's when you kind of go, because my situation, I've heard with a few men in Hollywood that they would say, "Hey, you sleep with me, then I'll put you in a movie." When they give you that choice, that's when you don't feel like a woman anymore. That's when you don't feel like we're getting to know each other. You're literally putting me like into a position where I'm not going to choose the right thing, Well, I am going to choose the right thing. I'm going to choose to tell you to, get lost. But at the same time, you didn't give me a chance to show you who I am as a person.
That's because they don't care. That's what women don't understand about the male who are doing this. The woman is only a moist hole for them to put their penis. The woman has zero like. She's not even human. She is simply a pleasure spot for him. She has no name. There's nothing.
Are
she's
all
an
men
animal.
like that?
I wouldn't say all
Look,
men.
we have two here.
I wouldn't say all. I wouldn't say all men.
Quiet.
Yeah, but I've got 10 co-hosts, so I champion
wouldn't say
women.
all men. I'm just saying that from what I've heard and what I've experienced, and it's nothing personal. It's a numbers game. It's like the law of averages, and if they go through 20 women, one's going to say yes. So that means that every woman is just a walking vagina with a heartbeat. She means nothing.
I've actually had my friends call me, should I do this? Should I sleep with this producer? I go, no, there's no reason to.
Because it doesn't, and
well,
it's
they're
no
all
guarantee.
saying, but the guys are all saying, I'll make you a star, toots. They're all saying that. So the hardest part for the woman is to figure out if you're going to have to do that, if that was the only game in town, is figuring out and deciphering which one is the best one to do it with. Because they're all saying, I'll make you a star. They're all saying, I'm the best, all these things. And so when you use that power leverage, that's the problem I have with it,
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I'm just not offended. I'm not shocked or any of those things because I already knew all this stuff. So now that it's coming out, it's like, duh. It's like, and
there's a lot more.
And also I think women have to also take responsibility for what they are conveying to a man. So if you're walking around in skimpy clothes, what are you telling the man? You're telling them the man sees, she's telling me she's available. She wants me to hit on her. That's what she wants. That's what the man thinks. Now, I'm not a psychologist on men, but I just think women also have to take responsibility. You can't walk around half naked. You just can't. That's my opinion.
What if you're getting attacked when you're not half naked?
Oh, that's a totally different thing. But a lot of women walk around half naked with their cleavage and their ass hanging out, and they think, oh, well, he hit on me. Well, duh.
I was at a red carpet event with a long dress, and yet I was approached and asked to do
I'm not
certain
surprised.
things. I mean, but I am a strong woman,
Yeah,
so
you
I knew
know
how
how
to
you defend
answer.
yourself,
Oh,
yeah.
I knew how to answer. Right?
She'll
yes.
kick your ass in a minute.
Oh, I will.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm talking about for people who are women who are totally revealing themselves in dresses. And it's a touchy subject. I know women don't like to hear it. Oh, I should be able to wear whatever I want. You just can't.
Yeah.
Because a man doesn't show up in short shorts and high heels and expect to be taken seriously. So why should a woman? We should dress accordingly. Don't you just cannot walk outside half naked and expect to be taken seriously. That's all I'm saying.
And with that, how do people reach out to you again? Your IMDb.
The name of my production company is Demigoddess Pictures. So I specialize in woman empowerment, and I like to, be very truthful and open about what we women have to do also to make sure that we empower ourselves. And so we can't lie to ourselves, and we can't say that we can wear anything that we want, because we can't. That's my opinion. And that's it.
Social media?
Yeah, I've got an Instagram. Same thing, Christy Oldham. Christy Oldham, through everything, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, Facebook.
Daryl?
All right, again, Instagram, dnizzles, DNIZZLES. I do have IMDb as well, Dario Torres. You can find me on IMDb. And email dario.torres79@gmail.com.
Anything coming up?
Other than the Lagoon, I am just working on a couple of projects writing-wise. Some stuff I'm trying to keep close to the chest right now. And acting-wise, just look out for me. I'll be out there. You shall see me.
Good for you. Natalie?
Instagram, Natalie Burn. Twitter, Natalie Burn01. Facebook, Natalie Burn Official. There you go, and check out our movie on Indiegogo again.
Yeah, you're going to be a big star.
Exactly.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, this is Movie Reviews and More. I thank you for everybody for coming out, because this is almost the end of the year. We got 2 more shows left for the year. But
Amazing.
2018 is going to be really good.
Thank
I'm
you
really
for
happy
having
coming
us.
up. Well, it's a pleasure to have you guys and to bring the face of what you were talking about, because she was talking about you, which is good.
Oh, my ears are ringing.
And with that, we're going to see you next week. We got 7 people on next week. It's going to be nuts.
Oh, wow.
This is Brian Sebastian. If you see someone about a smile, please give them one of yours.
You're listening to Movie Reviews and More with Brian Sebastian, only on LA Talk Radio.